First up, we've got Peter Everett from Industry 4.1 Limited. Peter, take it away, sir.
Hi there, guys. Can you hear me?
Indeed, we can.
Fantastic. Okay, so our solution is to create a system in order to use underutilized space on passenger rail to carry freight. So we intend to use a tracked trolley system to transport goods from a central drop-off point at the station, similar to a click and collect network that is currently used, and use the 5G network to transmit data to and from collection points such as manifest details, package details, etc. We already have an existing algorithm that has already been proven and links the rail network information such as timetables, loading at stations, access information, etc., and was originally designed to bring various parts together in a just-in-time system to supply the car production facilities around the UK. And our trolley was also designed to fit within the rail freight and is already approved. So what we expect our system to do is also have features such as ability to alert for any tampering, because it's going to be on a passenger rail network rather than separated, ability to alert to the best route for the logistics provider, ability to predict usage based on actual number of people that are on the train using the mobile data networks, and an app for the end user to be able to view and track and trace through, just the same as you would normally. Next slide, please. So in terms of back end, we're using a hybrid integration platform, but it's based on being able to accept information from various different systems, so that we don't want to be locking out any logistics provider. The idea of this ultimately would be to provide an opportunity for all logistics providers to use this as an interface to delivery, in the same way that Royal Mail currently do a lot of deliveries on behalf of other companies. The 5G will enable infrastructure flexibility. It'll allow us to swap out databases easily, switch between hybrid cloud and on-premises for upload of data between the trolley and particular carrier information, data integrity and enforcement in one place, and it'll allow us to have the data contained in transit with manifest of the goods. Next slide, please. So what we're really looking for at the moment is a local rail operator to partner with us. We are in talks with O2 but it'd be nice to have a partner as a 5G network provider rather than just as a supplier, and potentially a logistics company that may be interested in being involved and being the core of what we're trying to deliver. I hope that my contact details are there. I'm just at 3 minutes, so if anybody wants to speak to me, please get in touch and we'll happily have a conversation. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Peter. Top tip, if you cut and paste your contact details into the chat, everyone can take note of them. Okay, next up, ADVA, John Bretherick. Are you there, sir?
Good morning, Richard. Can you hear me?
Indeed so, John. The floor is yours.
Hi there, guys. John Bretherick, Business Development Manager for ADVA. We've been 25 years in the network industry in the UK, and we're currently working on a number of DCMS-funded 5G projects as collaborator or suppliers, not as a lead. We're also working with a number of universities on 5G developments in the UK. So we're wishing to collaborate with a lead, not actually to take on a lead. So next slide, if you can, Richard. So 3 areas that we have within ADVA for solutions for 5G transport networks. So network functions virtualization. So we have an edge compute platform, an orchestration solution, including the Mano for delivering virtual RAN and mobile edge compute. Front haul, mid haul, and back haul access and aggregation transport solutions, and also precise synchronization and timing solutions with a comprehensive portfolio that delivers timing excellence from the core right to the edge of the network. So if you just click onto the next slide, Richard, bit of a pictorial view as to where our solutions fit within the network. So we work with a number of RAN vendors who provide either radio solutions or the core EPC solutions, and we focus on the transport in the middle. So we've got a full range of capabilities that we see there. I won't go on with a product push at the moment, but if you go on to the next slide, Richard, there's one example here of a project, of a recent project that we've been involved in, which was recently completed. It was a Horizon 2020 5G PPP Phase 2 project in Barcelona that we've recently worked on from 2017, just finished in October 2020, where we delivered a track-to-train solution that has enabled multi-gigabit throughput with a very good millisecond end-to-end latency, and also delivering a network slicing solutions to enable differentiated services to be delivered on the trains. There's just one example of where we've worked with the other various collaborators there in delivering a solution for transport. So that was fairly swift. I'll put my details in the chat window. As I said, we're happy to collaborate with other leads in delivering the transport aspect of any solution.
Thank you, John. Atlas, Martin Kelman, are you there, Martin?
I am indeed. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I'm Martin Kelman, the Chief Digital Technology Officer for ATS Global. So ATS is the company and Atlas is our innovation brand that is looking to create sustainable growth for the UK industry. So if you go to the next slide. So what we offer are a cloud solution that can also be deployed in a 5G network, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But the three main components of that are the process definition, the resource management through Optimize, and then utilizing both the combination of the process and the resource information to create data and data dashboards. And those data dashboards can also be then used to create algorithms that we deploy to the edge. And this solution is already there. What we then look at is how do we convert that solution into the specifics for that particular use case, in your case, use case of the transportation systems, especially tracking of goods specifically and things like that. So really around pace and scale. So taking a solution and making it available instantly at a scale that's affordable for everybody. Next slide, please. So this is the principle of it, really. We define those use cases into a knowledge-based framework. Those knowledge-based frameworks, like I said, a combination of the data, the process, and the resources required to carry out that function. And then we deliver it, whether that's through to customers or through the supply chain of tracking of goods. We are involved with the 5G project, which is with Ford in the manufacturing space. And we're looking to extend beyond the manufacturing space as part of what we're offering. Next slide, please. So obviously, I'm not going to go on about what the benefits of 5G are, but we really want to be able to utilize those 5G benefits. And one of the areas we want to work on is really, and one we've seen quite a deficiency in the projects that we've worked in, is really about the sensors or the actuators and how we can have direct interface into those sensors and that actuators through the cloud or through a digital twin at the edge of the system. So we can offer that framework as a part of that. We would like to understand other sensors and actuators and develop those use cases with end users to be able to really utilize business benefit using this technology from day one of any project that we work on, really. So that's it from me. So there's a final slide, which is just my contact details and what we're trying to achieve that makes a difference to UK industry. That's me done.
Thank you kindly, Martin. Right, moving on, Druid Software. David O'Byrne, are you there, David?
Hi, Richard. Thanks very much. If we could go to next slide, please. Thanks. So Druid Software is one of the leading providers of 5G core software for private networks, edge networks, and neutral host networks. We're based in Dublin, Ireland. But working through a global network of systems integrators, we've delivered over 1,500 4G and recently 5G private networks into industry and education use cases. Our flagship product, Ramus, as you see there, sits at the heart of the private network. It's radio agnostic. It enables a broad range of sensors and handsets to communicate through the platform with the application or with end users. Our API, which is very comprehensive, allows PBXs and any kind of backend system, sector-specific systems, business process systems, CRM systems, to connect to the sensors without the need for any middleware. So it's a very simple implementation and very clean, and gives really unrivaled simplicity in terms of its implementation. The Ramus platform can also act as a neutral host or a JOTS configuration to enhance the network coverage for the public networks, public mobile networks, and connect the secure gateway out to the internet. Next slide, please. Why anybody would pick Druid software over any other network provider? I think a lot of people are considering private 5G networks as part of their WM5G trials, but are put off maybe by the perceived complexity or perceived cost of the solution. Well, the Druid system is very, very simple. It is a very intuitive click and drop management interface to allow anybody who can manage a Wi-Fi network to very quickly configure, identify all of the entities on the network, add them to different groups, and set the performance criteria and quality of service for those groups very, very simply. As I said, it has a very comprehensive REST API, so it can integrate into any application or any sector-specific software you can imagine, again, very simply. It's highly scalable. We can roll out a cost-effective network for 100 users or even less in some cases, all the way up to hundreds of thousands. We have a very innovative product. We were one of the first to have 5G NSA. We were one of the first to have 5G SA, to do voice over new radio, to integrate an IMS into our platform. And we've also integrated some other non-standard features, such as our enterprise slicing idea, which means that people can basically do network slicing, but on their own private network. Very flexible. We can deploy it anywhere from the cloud to a data center, bare metal servers on site, all the way down to the Amazon snow cone or a backpack if required. Basically, our speciality is in making 4 and 5G network radio work anywhere, and it's highly secure. If we go to the next slide, please. As I said, we've deployed over 1,500 networks worldwide. We've done networks in Rotterdam Harbour, on ships for wireless maritime service, and at the Sweden's Asta Zero autonomous vehicle test track. We are looking for people that are interested in private networks, but are put off by the perceived cost and complexity, and would like to talk to us about a way to get that done. Thanks very much.
Thank you kindly, David. Moving on, Peter Hansen from Hive Composites. Are you out there, Peter?
I am here, if you can hear me.
Indeed so. Take it away, sir.
Thank you, Rich. Hi, I'm Peter Hansen. I'm a Director of Hive Composites. This brief presentation is on modular pre-assembled composite masts, brackets and enclosures for mounting on existing infrastructure. And we're in particular looking for partners who could use such structures to support projects and trials and add innovation on the infrastructure side of the project. Next slide, please. So the products we're looking at can be mounted in 2 ways. Firstly, on existing infrastructure, but also as a freestanding structure on lightweight piled foundations. The main features are they can be assembled off-site and rapidly attached to existing infrastructure such as bridges, gantries, signposts, buildings with minimal additional weight. They can carry self-powering photovoltaic cells for the sensors or antenna. They're produced using a process called pultrusion, which is continuous, low cost, and produces poles that are much lighter per kilo than steel. They can be designed to be frangible, which is where it collapses in a controlled manner when impacted by a vehicle to minimize occupant injury. They can significantly improve the asset function due to their reduced weight and minimized installation times. And also enclosures can be designed to combine electromagnetically transparent materials with our patented roadside designs and innovative bracket designs. So the designs also enable the lowering of the antenna to a safe working height so that they can deliver infrastructure and be maintained safely, quickly, and at a reduced total cost of ownership. There's some illustrations on the right-hand side of some stanchion mounted masts that will soon be starting trials on overhead line equipment in rail applications. And these are obviously designed for the appropriate wind loadings and can be released from the upper bracket and lowered for maintenance. And the weight of this pole and brackets is around 35 kilos. Also on the right is a base mounted version where the pivoting base sits on a helical pile foundation, and once again the pole can be lowered for maintenance. An important aspect for the rail sector is non-conductivity electrically. So this is designed with glass fibre reinforcement with all the fire resistant requirements. And on this slide it shows that we've gone through our normal design process for the structures, including full finite element analysis modelling for the wind loading and then correlation with testing. So final slide please. So to summarize, the poles and associated structures can enable a fully connected network for infrastructure and for any other monitoring sensors, reduce delays through reduced possession times for installation, increased safety of crews, lightweight, low manual handling issues, reduced craneage, reduce maintenance through the composite materials with no corrosion, increase options for installations by using existing infrastructure, provide crash-friendly frangible pole technology, and 5G transparent enclosures that allow the sensors to be placed inside a housing. So finally, we're looking for projects where we can further develop and deploy these technologies more widely to demonstrate the benefits of these materials and structures. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Okay, next up we have Gary Wong with King City Technology Limited.
Hi everyone, I'm Gary Wong, and what we are doing right now in King City is a radar-based vehicle and pedestrian motion tracking system for the traffic control analysis. Please go to the next one. So this is what we are doing right now in Hong Kong. We are the Infineon associate partner on the radar solution provider. We use the 60 gigahertz radar to monitor the pedestrian flow and also the vehicle flow. And because the 5G is not ready in Hong Kong, so we are doing the data connection right now. And with the 5G coverage, we can have the low latency network to do the dynamic controls. Please go to the next one. So this is what we are doing in Hong Kong right now. We can do the traffic flow analysis, non-image, non-video based solution that mount on the traffic lights and also the light posts so that we can do the monitoring. So we can know the vehicle type classification, the driving behavior analysis, the traffic condition monitoring, and also some incident detection using the radar. And please go to the next one. What we are looking for right now is some system integrator so that we can do the deployment in the West Midland to mount the sensor into the traffic lights. And also we want to have some research organization to have the traffic model building. We use the radar to collect all the sensors, to collect all the data for the traffic condition, and then we can build the model based on the data. The last one is the strategic investor so that they can support the projects and also they can help to productize the sensors to the in UK and also in the other EU market. So that's what we are doing right now. Thanks.
Thank you kindly, Gary. Moving on, Tiago Pertihau, are you there, sir? Tell us about Outliers.
Yes, I am, and thank you. You just said my surname very, very well. That was good. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Tiago, CEO and Business Developer of Fractal Mind, and I will be presenting something completely different from what we have seen so far. Next slide, please. So we at Fractal Mind, we positively impact society with a team that is focused on leveraging gamification and design thinking. So basically we are all about people. We have been working this area for many years, and as a result, we have created a gamification platform or engine that we've named Outliers, and this is why you see Outliers by Fractal Mind. The solution, well, I'm not going to go deep into that, but you see there are three main points. It's a battle-tested gamification platform where we use rewards, extensive rewards to create long-term engagement. Next slide, please. Okay, so what we do is a simple process that we understand what is the user experience that we want, how to make it in a way that it's so good that increases the engagement, and then we apply the gamification or the game thinking design process with gamification and other mechanics to create the setup of the platform and make the experience great for wherever is using it. So these are, you see some of our clients. We've been doing this from telecom to healthcare, banking to retail. Everyone wants to increase engagement of the stakeholders, being internal, the employees, or external, their clients. So the last slide, please. So this is where things can get interesting. So what's the idea that we have for this movement of people challenge that we can see? We need to help people gain confidence on public transportation. And how can we do that? We can leverage the power of gamification and 5G. Why? Because 5G will allow us to have access to data and deliver data much faster, and this will open the opportunities to actually have things like network gaming in mobile that it was never probably done before with the 4G. So in the basically is, can we imagine an ecosystem that shows the traveler everything there is to see and to know about the safety on the public transport? You go into a train and you know, okay, when this was last cleaned, who cleaned it, what is the number of passengers allowed inside, how many are they? Then you can have the normal things, which is real-time traveling. Are we arriving on time? What is the next train? Where am I? And then you create a more fun and engagement area, like I was saying, like with online gaming, with interaction with your friends. You can play in different trains or in different buses, wherever you are doing on the public transport. You can play with your friends. So this is a completely different approach to engage people, for them to get more confident and obviously more engaged of using public transportation. And what we are looking for is partners to bring this to life, being for the operators and anyone that wants to create and to put on all the tech behind this technology in terms of the 5G. We are here to talk to you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Tiago. I suppose, full disclosure, we did practice your surname before we started. Moving on, Mark, how are you doing, sir? Mark Whitley from Sedgefox.
I am fantastically well. I hope everyone can hear me clearly.
Indeed we can, sir. The floor is yours.
Fantastic. Okay. As I think we've already heard, and we will hear some more, very much this is about the business of competitive storytelling. Our colleagues at West Midlands 5G will be receiving a variety of submissions, and they'll be selecting from that kind of portfolio which ones to give the £500,000 to within the next kind of month or so. They'll be looking for a compelling, consistent and compliant response. And this is the nature of my business. I have a lot of experience in supporting people in bid management, whether defining strategy, forming the consortia, but ultimately drafting responses and telling that powerful story to enable you to get access to the funds available. That's what I'm here to do. Next slide, please, Richard. I have experience of doing that into government, into large or small departments for a variety of purposes, and I'm happy to help at any level up to the point of final revision and refining to tell that story really in a sharp and compelling way. And as I've just evidenced, in a nice, tight manner, well within the time. So I'm done now. I will put my details in the chat and look forward to hearing from anybody who feels they can use me. Thank you, Richard. Thank you kindly, Mark.
Moving on and doing massive things for diversity. Thank you, Rebecca. Rebecca Sellick from Sellick Rail. Are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Indeed, Rebecca. Please, the floor is yours.
It's so diverse. You allow purple slides. It's fantastic. Okay, so I'm doing innovations, engineering and business consultancy. And what I know about is railways. So could I have the next slide, please? What we do is help make friends and win funds and fix the world. So it's all this, it sounds like posh matchmaking, but we get people together and we create projects that have got all the right partners in, and we get the business objectives aligned, so we actually come up with a credible project that meets what WM5G are looking for and delivers something exciting that makes the world better. I've got depth in experience in railway engineering and in producing innovations that are exciting and helping to deliver them in project management. So that's the basic case. We've gone to the next slide, please. Thought I would advertise a few things I've done recently. So something called YCAR, which was around that engagement piece that Diego was speaking to, about looking at modal shift and encouraging people to do things differently, with very much a decarbonisation background on that, and all sorts of different projects. So some of them are natural language programming type things, like with the Tell Me Quick project, focused on train drivers, and getting that information to the right people in terms of the operational service at the time and the maintenance service downstream. And then some very techie projects on cleaner diesels and hydrogen, but looking at the business case and the reason why and how to make it really sing to funders to understand what it is, the big picture of what we can deliver in that, making it all better sense. And a couple of other projects there. So we go on to the next one. So my pitch, as it were, to fellow participants in this webinar is about what are your opportunities and how can I help you in terms of bringing them to the railway. So there's a few projects that I've looking to work on at the moment, but really it's an open invitation to say I've got this sort of expertise and how can I help you bring your technology to the railway.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Okay. Oh, here's a bit of a veteran to this sort of thing. Peter Gradwell from Tellet.
Hello, I'm Peter Gradwell. Thank you. If you could do the next slide, please. So Tellet is a UK mobile operator. It was originally founded by James Bodie, who lives in a very large knot spot. And James, being James, is a clever chap. He thought he would make his own mobile phone network. And the end result of that is that Tellet is now it's the 5th UK mobile operator in the UK. It's rural focused and it's running 4G and 5G networks. And we're delivering the 5G core networks for the Liverpool 5G project, the Mobile Access North Yorkshire project, and indeed our own project in the Chalk Valley through small cells. So if you could move on, please. We have capabilities in 4G and 5G networks. We have lots of capabilities around spectrum and dealing with the Ofcom shared spectrum and local access spectrum regimes. We have lots of SIM cards and we have lots of interconnects, and remember the GSMA. So if you need a private network or you want some SIM cards that will start in a private network and then move to a public network, we can help you wire all this up and deliver it for you. If you could do the last slide, please. We are interested in taking this technology and working with people who deal in transport. For example, going from farming into warehouses, into the towns. We are working with people in construction, maybe where they're doing roadways and buildings. And we are interested in projects around field service, where maybe you've got users who are out and about and joining multiple third-party networks. So if your project idea has an element of 5G network, well, obviously all of them have, but where you particularly need a private 5G network to blend with a public 5G network, then please do get in touch with me and I'm more than happy to help you build it.
Thank you, Peter. Okay, the penultimate, the Seaworks. Kevin Stock. Are you there, Kevin?
Good morning. Interesting startup from everybody. A little insight on the Seaworks and Materia. The Seaworks has been started up to help connected vehicles and objects work and survive in this complicated part of the world. Our background is we're a small bunch of engineers. We've got experience of working for JLR, Honda and Nissan, delivering connected car solutions, and we've also worked for Ericsson among various parts of our team. The Materia Technology Group we have been partnering with, their experience again is delivering connected car solutions and doing end-to-end testing of complete connected car and solutions and about 5,000 use cases. So not only can we come up with a solution, but we can also come along and test it before you go to market. And one of the things we have from our experience of working for connected cars is the amount of testing these solutions have before going to market is often is insufficient to make it work smoothly and efficiently. So what we've been trying to do is look at the two areas we see problems around connected road safety and connected logistics. And in the next couple of slides, we're going to show you what we're trying to achieve. Hopefully it's clear and logical. In geo-messaging, so for road safety, you're looking to try and message drivers of advanced problems like approaching emergency vehicles by sharing early warnings of traffic. For example, 500 meters behind you is an emergency vehicle, please move to the right-hand side. Or in 2 kilometers ahead, there's aquaplaning on the road, please slow down. The idea here is, whilst there's many systems looking to show you and monitor vehicles, if the road traffic authorities could directly message the vehicles in real time, you could significantly reduce the likelihood of accidents occurring or help the fast approaching emergency vehicles get through traffic. I think all of us have sat in experienced times in motorways. You hear the siren, but you can't move fast enough out of the way. If you had more warning, you could get out of the way and let the ambulance through. Certainly in these COVID times, every minute counts. By also warning you that you have something along in the traffic going ahead, you can improve traffic flows by warning people, slow down, go, be careful. To do this, with the 5G environment, our experience working in Ericsson and everywhere else, we know how to implement it, or how the requirements to deliver 5G and CV2X impacts on solutions. So we are looking for a way to connect vehicles and all users, both vehicles and vulnerable users, to be better connected so you can be connected anywhere all the time. This requires a slightly new approach of how to communicate with devices. Well, this is what we're working on. We've also looked at making sure whatever we've got is highly scalable. So what we've done is divided up the West Midlands into a series of grids. You only message those vehicles that are going into or directly impacted by whatever the condition is, so you don't overload the networks. The other part of the feedback is that as you are traveling through the region, we're also monitoring the network conditions, so we can share with the operators, road traffic authorities, and everybody else, and anybody else who's interested, what is the network conditions in real time, so we can share and improve constantly the performance of these networks. Next slide, please. The other challenge you have is if you're looking to deliver some of the use cases around moving goods, moving people, and optimize road management. If you can find a way for the logistics companies to be able to connect to their vehicles all the time, anywhere, and being able to get real-time messages to them, you can improve the utilization of the vehicles, you can deliver more things successfully on time, and being able to deliver to your house to internet deliveries. If you are more successful at being able to deliver close to 100% of the time, you have less vehicles being used, less trips, lower congestion, and lower CO2. So everybody benefits. Plus, obviously, your new surprise for the wife or the boyfriend of delivering something to the house can be done because we know we can get to you. Again, the challenge here is finding a way of making sure we can connect you or your object or your delivery vehicle all the time. Understanding how busy the networks are and how well they're utilized, finding a way of making sure messages get to vehicles. From our experience of working with Ericsson, we know how to make sure these solutions are scalable and can be delivered. And again, we're looking to monitor how each of these objects are moving around. What is the network performances, so we can again feedback to the operators, feedback to the MNOs, feedback to everybody, how good networks are working around the West Midlands. And with the 5G solutions that are about, this will improve the ability to transmit quite large data files to people. We can get faster responses and being able to then share the fleet services across more and more interested in parties in the whole area. Next slide, please. What we're looking for in our project is keep all the users, and that can be vulnerable road users or vehicles or road traffic authorities, keep everybody connected so you know what's going on in real time. Also, you're knowing with the real-time insight on connectivity, what is the services running well? If there's any problems in a certain part of the West Midlands, how can it be solved? Do things quickly and efficiently. We're also, from our experience, we are looking to be able to deliver an automated process. So as things happen, you have a smooth, seamless transaction of data across the whole set of users are around. What is innovative about this is giving an insight to real network conditions. This has been from our experience of working for OEMs and for Ericsson. We know that people expect that the networks to be there all the time, unlimited bandwidth, working 24/7. And sometimes this does happen, sometimes it doesn't. It can be the weather, it can be new buildings, it can be roadworks, just overloaded cells. How do we find a way of highlighting to people what's about? We're also trying to make sure that we can get real-time messaging to road users. We do have solutions, and this is what we're working on as a key part of our processes, or our product is making sure we can connect to all operators and all users all the time. What we can offer is an insight to real-world network conditions. We can offer a way to get real-time messaging to road users, whether vulnerable road users or vehicles of all sorts, can be trucks, buses, fleets, anything you want. We're looking to find is we need some test fleets to support. Whilst we are an innovative, fast-growing company, we do need vehicles that drive, quite a reasonable number of hours per day, 24/7 if we can, so we can get more data back in our 3 months worth of testing appearances. We'd also like to have a long discussion with the West Midlands Road Traffic Authority to understand their problems. What do they want and see as challenges to improve in their way of being able to directly message to vehicles without having to expend the expense of putting all these amazingly horrible overhead road signs and things like that. And the other thing is, people who run fleets and delivery solutions, if you can share with us what you want as requirements, how does it work, we can then include this in our development project and show you how we can deliver things to maximize the benefit of being able to be connected all the time, anywhere. Last slide, please. If you want to get hold of us, you can get hold of me or Andy or Narinjan. We're the 3 core people running this project. If you want to get hold of us, please, by all means, give us a bell.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you. And last but by no means least, Ben Ross, Urban Things. Are you there, Ben?
Thank you very much. We're nearly at the end now. So to introduce Urban Things, we are a UK-based tech company who specialise in mobility. Our background is really in data, and what we try to do is remove the classic hardware barriers that are in transport and take a software approach to fill traditional data sets, find gaps in those data sets, and integrate various types of data sets, which all boil down to trying to deliver a solution which assists the passenger. Now, that could be what their best route home is after the 507 from Birmingham New Street has been cancelled, or a lot of the projects we've been working on recently are blending occupancy data sets so that the passenger knows to get on the final carriage as that is the least busy. So we do a lot of these solutions, a lot of them rolled out with public transport operators and local authorities and governments. Our last 2 projects were with Transport for London, a lot of the key worker services and informing key workers which modes of transport to travel on, which are the least busiest to reduce infection rates, as well as Transport for Wales and integrating all of their transport around Wales to give passengers one concise view of the whole network for them. I think really what we're looking for as part of this in terms of project partners are network operators, network providers. We work closely with a lot of them in the UK to take data sets, use data sets, and then move the data sets together to give that overall view. So really that's who we're looking for to engage with here, to enhance the data that we have and then deliver that to public transport operators. We have a large UK presence. We're integrated to almost all of the public transport operators in the UK. And our platform sits in 2 ways. We have a public-facing B2C platform, which is now rolled out across the world, as well as a more general B2B platform for a lot of the public transport operators that we work with. So I'll keep it short and succinct for this as it's the last one, and I'll hand back over to you guys.